Welcome to the Epic Edition Top 10. Have you ever considered some of the oddest last meals selected by prisoners on death row? We serve up some of the most strange and odd choices death row convicts have made for their final supper in this video. There are plenty of odd and unexpected last meal requests in this movie, from a request for 5 pounds of cheese and 10 cups of ranch dressing to a scary last meal warning for the final meal of infamous tyrants like Adolf Hitler or Saddam Hussein, and even a few that will have you shaking your head. Before we go further, make sure to subscribe to Epic Edition Top 10 channel and press the bell icon for future updates. Do you find this video interesting? Then watch on to find out the top 10 strangest last meals requests from prisoners on death row. Let's see. Number 10. Victor Harry Fager. In a federal court, Victor Fager was tried for murder and found guilty. He received a hanging death sentence. Victor filed an appeal, but it was rejected. Only President John F. Kennedy had the power to commute the death penalty at that time. Victor's lawyer and the then governor of Iowa, Harold Hughes, who opposed the death penalty, wrote to Kennedy to ask him to commute Victor's sentence. Kennedy turned down their request because he believed the crime to be so terrible. He was the final federal prisoner put to death in the country before the death penalty was banned as a result of the Furman v. Georgia court case. Additionally, he was the final person executed in Iowa. After Victor's passing, it would be nearly 40 years until Timothy McVeigh was put to death by the federal government for the Oklahoma City bombing. Victor was executed when he was 28 years old. He asked for a single pitted olive for his last meal. Henry Hargreaves, a photographer, captured this menacing picture, citing, "It's just such a divisive picture. He eats just one olive while we discuss our last meals and whether they will be excessively opulent. It's really so straightforward, lovely, and kind of conclusive. It's as though his life came to a full stop." Number 9. Phillip Workman. The request that Phillip Workman makes for his final meal is certainly one of the most peculiar on this list. Workman, who was executed by the state of Tennessee in 2007, requested that a large vegetarian pizza be given to a homeless person in Nashville by the prison. He did this while he was denying himself his own lunch. Workman was executed in 2007. On the day that he was scheduled to be executed, a large number of people living in Tennessee carried out the prison's refusal and brought hundreds of pizzas to homeless shelters. Number 8. Angel Nieves Diaz. Angel Diaz was put to death by lethal injection in the state of Florida when he was 55 years old. Although he was convicted guilty of murder, kidnapping, and armed robbery and sentenced to death, he always maintained that he was innocent of the charges against him. After turning down the Last Supper, Diaz was offered the regular meal that is served in the prison, but he did not eat it either. Number 7. John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, a serial killer, was executed in Illinois by lethal injection when he was 52 years old. For the rape as well as 33 charges of murder, the killer clown received a death sentence. Gacy ordered a bucket of KFC made using the original recipe, 12 fried shrimp, a pound of strawberries, and French fries for his final dinner. Fun fact, before being found guilty, Gacy oversaw 3 KFC restaurants. Number 6. Ricky Ray Rector. At the age of 42, Ricky Ray Rector was executed in Arkansas via lethal injection. He received a death sentence for 2 charges of murder. Rector asked for and received a steak, fried chicken, cherry Kool-Aid, and pecan pie for his final dinner. Rector told the correctional officers who came to take him to the execution chamber that he was saving it for later and left the pie on the side of the tray. The pecan pie wasn't eaten until after Rector had been put to death. Number 5. Robert Alton Harris. In 1992, Robert Alton Harris was executed by lethal injection for his role in the murder of 2 adolescents who had been found dead in San Diego in 1978. Since 1967, this was the first time the state of California has used the death penalty. For his final dinner, he planned to have a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken with 21 individual pieces, 2 large pizzas from Domino's, ice cream, a bag of jelly beans, a 6-pack of Pepsi, and a pack of Camel cigarettes. He also planned to smoke a pack of Camel cigarettes. Number 4. Marion Albert Pruitt. Our list begins with the last meal request of prisoner Marion Albert Pruitt, who included enough food to feed a roving army. Pruitt initially said he planned to eat dinner with another prisoner who would be executed that day. He asked for a whole pecan pie, for Burger King Whoppers, a large order of fries, 3 2-liter Pepsi bottles, fried okra, squash, and eggplant, and a Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza. Although he requested roast duck, he didn't think the prison would prepare it for him. Number 3. Ronnie Threadgill. Ronnie Threadgill was put to death by lethal injection in the state of Texas when he was 40 years old. He was sentenced to death for the murder he committed. Threadgill asked for the following things to be included in his farewell meal: baked chicken, mashed potatoes with country gravy, vegetables, sweet peas, bread, tea, water, and punch. However, because the final meal selection was made illegal in the state of Texas in 2011, Threadgill was only able to receive the same dinner as the other members of his unit. Number 2. Ronnie Lee Gardner. In 1985, Ronnie Lee Gardner was given the death penalty for murder, and in 2010, the state of Utah carried out his execution by firing squad. Gardner's lawyer said that his client just preferred to pass away in this manner rather than draw attention to himself because, in 1985, Gardner famously remarked, "I'd like to die of old age, Your Honor, but if that ain't possible, I'll take the firing squad." Gardner wanted to eat steak, a lobster tail, apple pie, vanilla ice cream, and watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy while he consumed his final meal. Number 1. Ted Bundy. The aliases Theodore Robert Bundy used included Chris Hagen, Kenneth Meisner, Officer Roseland, Richard Burton, and Rolf Miller. At the age of 43, one of the most infamous serial killers in American history was executed in Florida via electric chair. For rape, necrophilia, jailbreak, and more than 35 charges of murder, he received a death sentence. Bundy was served the standard fare for his final dinner because he denied a special one: medium rare steak, eggs over easy, hash browns, bread with butter and jelly, milk, and juice. These were some of the last meals that death row inmates ever ate, and they say a lot about the personality of the individual who ate them. In the comments section, please tell me which one you consider to be the most peculiar of the bunch. By selecting the subscribe button at the very top of the page, you can follow my channel, the Epic Edition Top 10. We thank you for watching. Click the like button if you found it to be enjoyable. Would mean a great deal to me, and it assists other people in visualizing the story.